So good morning, everyone, and I'd like to welcome my panel here. Definitely, I will give an opportunity to introduce themselves. But it's a very interesting topic we got today. So the most important point we are talking about quality over quantity, and the demanding customers. We all go through this thing every time we think about getting into a restaurant or subject. So I would like to start with Dhruv first, talking about how he see quality over quantity.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So quality is always important, of course. But sometimes it becomes it becomes very challenging for us because India as a country, I think, we are still learning how to appreciate quality over quantity, but that will take some time. So what we do as a practice is you have to have a balance of both. You have to have enough quantity on the plate with the quality ingredients. And it's always justified with the kind of recipes we do, the kind of stories we tell, so that it becomes more experiential and people appreciate that and they're happy to pay a price for it. So yeah, that's a little...
So you've been pretty diplomatic here. I want to check with the chef. Do you agree with the chef?
Hi, good morning, everyone. Well, I have a little different view. I think there is a market, there are people who appreciate your quality, and if you do quality, I think it helps you to sort of stand out from the market, stand out from the competition. It helps you to build a brand loyalty. There are customers, people who, I think in today's day and age, everybody wants quality, whether it's at whatever price point it is. Whatever we consume, whatever we experience, there is a space for quality. I think it's time we sort of pay emphasis to quality. So, well, I have a little different view with Dhruv on it.
So I think chef has made a very good point here. So when chef said loyalty, I think this is where I like to start here. So the topic was quality over quantity. But is it a good bargain for a loyalty for a customer? Like the customer wants quantity or quality or mix of both. Where you agree, chef? Like how we can really buy customer. Literally, end of the day, no matter what and how we do, it boils down to the customer loyalty or the sale.
Yeah, good morning. There is a vast difference nowadays that people no longer are actually spoiled for choice, if you ask me. Nowadays, clients are spoiled for choice. If you want to look at one cuisine, you'll have 100 restaurants. If you want to just binge onto something, you have an N number of, let it be dark kitchens, cloud kitchens, QSR models. So nowadays, the loyalty factor is very minuscule because people want to taste, and since the market here is growing every single day, people have become well traveled compared to what it was 10 years earlier. Today you have people traveling all across and being able to taste better food, being able to judge what we are serving. Like a pasta, for example, that earlier al dente was always not appreciated in India. Now still there is a X number of clientele that will appreciate that type of cooking. So that's coming in. The loyalty factor is also there, but when it's very specific to old age brands. So all during people's childhood, those brands are getting loyalty. But the Gen Z right now is more onto the type of food and the type of presentations. They're looking more at quality and presentation more than anything else.
So I think now question is to every three of you here. So when it comes to, we spoke about loyalty, we spoke about how much the plating matters here. For example, definitely talking about the dark kitchens, cloud kitchens as a big subject. But as of now, I'm talking about only the dining thing here, dining scenario in India. So how much you think the plating matters?
How much plating matters? I think plating in today's day and age where social media is such a big thing, it's a rage where everybody is onto it. I think plating does play a very vital role. Look at platforms like TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, how they've taken over. So of course, how you present your food, how you put your food out there, how customer perceives it, how customers look at it. Plating helps you to market your product. Plating helps you to reach the product. If plate is good looking, a person is going to post about it and it's going to reach a different audience. it's also scientifically proven that people appreciate food which is presented well. Your eyes first see the food, they send a signal to the brain, they say, oh, this food is going to be tasty, I want to consume this food. So plating is an absolute need right now. It's very important right now. It's also adds value to your brand. It adds value to your sort of position, your product, whether it's a QSR, whether it's a restaurant chain, whether it's a dine-in restaurant, CDR. It positions your restaurant in a certain profile. Nobody wants to see a shabby looking food, a shabby looking plate. So plating is very paramount. I think it's a need of the hour.
So I agree somewhat, but now my question is to Dhruv here. So we spoke about definitely plating does matter, but does it really give you, if the flavor is not right or a quantity is not right in the food, does it really give you a business in long run? Definitely Instagram buzz and Facebook buzz is there, but how come we can achieve the brand loyalty with that too? That flavors, quantity, quality.
Chef, I'll again give a diplomatic answer. Like, it should have a balance of all three: your quantity, your quality, and of course the presentation and plating. But the only problem with plating these days are like we spend a lot of time to create that particular dish which looks beautiful. Of course, it needs to look beautiful, but we need to be very mindful of the fact that to dishing out one particular dish from the kitchen, it should not take more than, for example, 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So that's the mistake what a lot of chefs are doing these days, especially the young ones.
That much of time, 5 minutes plating time?
Yeah, I have seen that, like many restaurants, not in India, I think worldwide. So I think things are changing slowly. People are opting for presentation which looks beautiful, looks pretty, it's smart, it's easy. And a lot of chefs are spending more time to create experience by the crockery. I think that's something which is a very quick hack to make your...
Well, I'll bring back my question here. The plating part has been done here.
Yeah.
I'm asking you in terms of plating, how loyal your customer will be if the quality and a quantity is not good in the food. We are not talking about the first time. Of course, he is there first time. He saw the plate. Now we are talking about to get the customer back to your restaurant for having the same thing. How much the role of quality and quantity matters in that?
Okay, let me switch then. So what this plating does, like, again, I'm just gonna add this point where how plating helps to camouflage quantity sometimes. Like, you make your plate look so beautiful that, people don't focus on the quantity, and that becomes like an experience for the customer. Okay, this dish looks beautiful, and maybe that becomes like a signature thing and people come back for that. But backed by a good, flavorful, good quality ingredients.
How much you agree with him now? I will keep you on a judge for me.
No, see, I agree to disagree on it because...
So I'll rephrase it for you again. We are done with the plating part. His diplomatic answer about quantity and quality has been faded here. Now I'm asking you again, similar thing, and how much quantity and quality will bring back your customer, where we are talking about the good plating here.
Yes, so it will surely bring back a customer, but there is a difference in the customer. It's what he perceives as a value for money. So it's the value for money for everybody is very different. So if he perceives it value for money, he will surely be loyal, he will come back. Like Sir said that it is about being plated well, it should have an eye appeal, can become a signature dish. So nowadays there's an aspiration to people in the industry where people want to use a dish or the comeback for loyalty of a dish is when it's this occasion. So you could say the trend is maybe it's not the right quantity, but a person will come back if it's a signature dish and it is for an occasion where people want to showcase. So now it's a lot of occasional eating also. So the platings also matter onto that front. So for example, like people have now moved towards the pull me up. Earlier, like the pull me up cakes had come in. So people started doing a pull me up rasmalai, pull me up shahi tukda. So people were interested and fascinated with that. But at the same time, they've made sure the basics of the dish is not changed. So people do come back for the type of plating they get. And it's actually their perception of whether it is value for money for them or no. So that's actually based on person to person. So that's how things are.
I thought it's a chef table. It sounds like a diplomatic table here. Everybody's been very careful, very, keeping a guard on the words that kuch kharab nahi jana chahiye. अरे भाई जो सच है वो बोलो, कोई टेंशन नहीं है ऐसा. We are all industry people here. So now I would like to bring back to you here. So you know, it's not a topic here, but when we speak about the quality of food, we see all kind of products now in the market, where we talk about rich creams, we talk about fresh creams. How much does it matter? Because we are talking about a customer loyalty in terms of sales, but how loyal we are to the customers, and how justified it is to use alternate ingredients in the regular kitchen nowadays.
And it's a tough one in terms of how
You are the only one who is answering sincerely here,
whether
so
it's
I'm just
whether it's justified or not. I think from a very chef's perspective, you want to use the best, but that's where when the economics set in, and when of course everything has to make an economic sense. You need to. What is the purpose of chef creating a best dish if there are no any takers for it? So of course there has to be a balance of it. There has to be takers for it. There has to be customers for it. So whether you use a rich cream or a low-fat cream or a heavy cream or any expensive ingredients, if there aren't any takers for it, well then it's a boo-boo. Then it doesn't make any sense.
no. We are talking about the loyalty here. We are asking customers to be loyal.
Well, loyalty is, of course, if a customer likes your taste, customer is hooked onto it, he respects what you used and he likes it, you've got a winner on your hands. So, of course, I personally believe that we should use good ingredients, we should use quality ingredients, and as professionals, it is our responsibility to guide our customers, to teach our customers, and to educate our customers that what is the way it should be, what it should be.
You agree, Dhruv?
So for me, there need to be a lot of transparency if you have to build loyalty. Like if you're using fresh produce, first of all, as a chef or as an entrepreneur or as an owner, you need to be very sure of and to bring in the best of the quality ingredients at whatever price, and then be very transparent about it to the customer so that customer pays for that price, and then loyalty builds on it.
So, how about you? Same thing. Like we expect loyalty from the customers, but how loyal we are to the customer, because a lot of identical flavored ingredients are being used these days. So how justified they are to be used?
According to me, that we should avoid using them as much as we can. But in this industry, I think the things are changing so fast that people are accepting few of them. But I think the more original flavors or the more original ingredients we use, it changes. There is a difference. Whether, however synthetic, like if it be any product, if you are using something that's a fresh produce, the result is much more different, is much more palatable, and I think that as long as we don't use those products, we are in a better space and we will get loyal customers. So we really need few of them who are loyal to run our business across.
So I'll jump on to the third question right away, straight to you. So here we are talking about the loyalty of our customers in terms of plating and all that. We spoke about how good we plate, what good quality ingredients and all that things. But honestly, how loyal we are to the customers, because we expect all the time that our customers should be loyal to us. But in terms of this modern world, in terms of identical flavor are being used in the food, identical creams, butter, margarine, all things are being used. And how loyal we are as a other side of the table to the customers in terms of all those usage, or should we use or should we not use?
So
Just giving an example of cost cutting.
This is a very relevant question for the cinemas, and we've been at the crux of menu engineering, which becomes like a very key instrument to actually be very scientific about this process. Eating habits and preferences are also a huge part of what defines what we want to put on the plate, what the business model is, and what is the agreeable price point that we want to keep that dish at.
So again, I thought you were not diplomatic here.
I'm just getting started.
So we are being very, very particular. We are asking customer to be loyal. How loyal as a chef you are to the customer when you use identical flavors?
It's reciprocate. So, we reciprocate every emotion. So let me just say that, we're trying to be very true.
You say butter, you use margarine.
No, not at all. So in that case, let me be absolutely clear. We announce all our ingredients. Every dish at the cinema can be, referred to at any point of time. So yes, we serve what we say.
Oh, that's something we expect.
But like my fellow panelists said, that people are traveling and people are aware, they're consuming a lot, world's getting a smaller place. I don't think in today's day and age you can get away with serving something and representing it in some other manner. You cannot. I think people are aware. Maybe you might just get lucky by saying getting away with one time, but I don't think so. You can't say you serve New Zealand lamb and you serve something local, or you say you serve regular fish and serve, let's say, a basa or any particular cheddar cheese and serve something below standard. I think people are aware. Consumers are smart these days, man. They know. And I think we as a country are absolutely love of food, yeah. I think we've got only three passions, na? Cricket, Bollywood and food.
No, food, cricket and food पहले है.
Food पहले हम खुश होते हैं खाते हैं, दुखी होते हैं खाते हैं, celebrate
No,
करते
India
हैं.
is the only culture जहाँ पैदा होने से मरने तक का खाना defined है.
So I don't think we can fool our customers. So I think it's very paramount that if we take our job seriously, if we want to build our business, and if we have a long-term vision to our business, we need to be very loyal to our customers.
Okay, now, something I'm going a little off topic here, but I think it's very interesting for audience even to learn about it. So how much the story matters when you are creating a dish? And I born in this country, I love this country. So I will say, in the context of the country we're born in, even if you are getting any dish from any place, how much element of the country that you think you should have, or you're allowed to touch base that part?
You mean how much does the story matter?
No, one, story matters, how much the story matters. Second, how much leverage you can take to insert India in that X dish.
Well, I think story does matter, and you need to incorporate as much of an India or ingredient or where the story comes from, what should be in your inspiration. I think in a very layman thing, हाथ से काम होता है. थोड़ा हाथ और जब दिमाग का इस्तेमाल होता है तो थोड़ी सी कारीगरी होती है. लेकिन हाथ दिमाग और जब दिल मिलते हैं तो then I think an experiences come out. So I think it has to be a combination of your heart, your brain and your hands, and it will eventually make an experience.
So, भाई आप agree करते हैं?
I'm not that kind of. I can't do poems, so I'm so sorry. I really learned it, but I couldn't. Story sells. Of course, it sells, but that depends where exactly you're saying your story, in what kind of a restaurant. I think people now, as everyone agrees, that we have a customer who are very well traveled, so they know what exactly they have experienced outside, and they want to experience the same thing here. And India as a country, we have a lot of story to say, right? A lot of ingredients to explore, a lot of there's so many untold recipes, undiscovered recipes, which is yet to come out, I think story sells, and it makes the whole menu and the restaurant and the brands so unique,
Yeah, I think story is one of the reasons people do come back also to a restaurant to experience it. And the story is not only about the food, the story has to be even in the dining experience. So people look at that as a very big thing, that apart from the food story, is your dining experience also telling the same story? If they are not on the same page, you're in for trouble.
Your case is very different here compared to all three. How you think that you can insert the story in the food?
I think food is. I think food again is all about emotion.
Because people who are there, they are already there for one story.
So imagine it's got to be another level of art form.
Exactly. That's why I say the idea becomes double for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So the idea is to just keep it simple. The idea is, fresh, simple, and straight up, and not complicate things. Count to elements, get it right, and stay true to what you're doing. That's very important. Also, cinemas become a space where we also have people eating in the dark. So we had to reverse engineer a lot of dishes. So there's emotion, there's a lot of emotional connect, and also there's a little bit of science that goes into this entire thing. And that's why I can very proudly say that we're one of the top 5 F&B entities in the country.
That's kudos, guys. Now I have a very different question, and it's for everyone here. How much you think that we call it, before COVID and after COVID. That is something it should be the topic of every forum, I would say now. How much you think the difference in the customers' thought processes came after the COVID? Because we all of us are here before COVID we existed. But how much you think that the customer education level, perseverance level changed after COVID?
I think COVID probably people consumed a lot of digital content. People also inbound. People were cooking a lot. People were consuming so much inside. So I think people became very aware. People sort of self-educated themselves. So I think it's been a little different world post-COVID. Quality has come and played a vital role into the things. People are valuing things better. People are ready to spend money on quality food. People are traveling for food. Food is just not now a mere entity to fill your stomach. It's just not a thing which is just you need to consume. I think it is an experience. So I think COVID has definitely helped in a way, or probably given people that time, or it's been that pause where people have sort of regrouped and figured it out that food is a very integral part and we need to be aware of it.
Dhruv?
So I think COVID taught us how to value our health. Like that particular 2 years were like it was a disaster for all of us. But at the same time, we started value our own health, value our own lives, value our own relationships, etc. So post COVID, there was a phase where the revenge dining was happening, where people were going out like crazy. But now we can see the dip, right? But there is the surge and the people going out, and now they're going back to normal where they don't want to go out much. So yeah, it's a balance of both. But for sure, we have started eating healthier. Like people started appreciating good ingredients. They have started noticing what exactly they are consuming in terms of the sugar, the carbs, the fats, etc. So that's one good thing which has happened post-COVID, that we have started realizing what's the intake.
Now the question adds on one more thing to you. That's I think good or bad, but you're sitting in the end, so things filter up to you here. So these both have answered the best possible way. But I'm asking honestly, as a chef, does it really, change your mindset after COVID? That what you need to serve?
Yeah, definitely. After COVID, there's a lot of change even in mindset as a chef for me to put dishes that are more adaptable, more friendly, more local. One thing that COVID has really changed for us is we are looking at local sourcing. We are looking more towards getting produce that are locally done, changing a menu in 6 months. Because we felt that now people understand what is seasonal, what's not seasonal. So post-COVID, that's been a big benefit, that we are also everyday working. It's not that you have a monotonous menu that's continuing for 2 years, 5 years. Now there's a change every 6 months. We are also trying to introduce 1 or 2 new dishes, understanding the palates, what people want. So that's been a good change and has kept, I think, most of the chefs are on their feet now compared to what they were pre-COVID. Post-COVID, everybody's trying something new every few days. So I think that's been a very good thing from the chef point of view.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's well covered by what Jatin drove, and for that matter, his truth is also mentioned. There's been a lot of the evolution has happened. People post COVID, and our patrons are like very well informed over the eating, and also what's happened is that there's been that elimination by the virtue of quality that's happened. So anything which was not serving to people's expectations has moved out. At the same time, the cinemas, we've always valued time, and rather than just being a cinema exhibitor, the idea is to provide a more wholesome experience, which is doing justice to the amount of time that people spend to travel to a theater, watch a movie, and while they're doing that, if I can provide them with a meal which meets their expectations or delights them further, I think that's the crux of what we're trying to achieve. How can we do it has been obviously discussed, but it's important that we learn from what COVID did to us and move forward from there.
I think it's a very well thought answer. now I'm coming to my favorite subject here. I've been known for Indian food. I've been researching. I'm doing everything about it. But we 99% we are catering to Indian audience here, and I know most of you here have been doing the Western food and some different influence food, and we appreciate everything. Like in India, we really a foodie nation, I would call it, not Indian foodie, but in the end of the day, we boil down to Indian food. And how much the story of Indian food actually, as a chef, matters, that you want to serve and what you're serving. So, end of the day, you only you serve what you sell. But how much you want to incorporate Indianized or Indian version of anything.
Well, I started out to being an Indian chef, classical Indian food, and then I sort of digressed and moved and started expressing myself in Western, European, or so-called little Pan-Asian, coastal, all that. Now I don't do any cuisine-centric food. I do flavor-centric food. I do food which is very flavor and which makes people happy, which is loud, which is bold. And when you talk about Indian food, I think it's bold, it's loud, it's flavorful. So for the kind of food I do, but maybe I present it in a very fine way, a nice way, and it sort of feels it's European nature or continental or whatever is the word we want to use. But I don't think there is any sort of space where Indian ingredients cannot be used. I think we as chefs, I think on this panel everybody will agree that the Indian ingredients are top notch, Indian spices are great, Indian flavorings are nice. We've got different types of vinegars which exist, different types of souring agents which exist in our thing. We got spices like Timur or such exciting flavor profiles that we use in any sort of preparation style, whether it's grilling, stewing, baking. It just gives the food a very different dimension. So I think it's the age of Indian ingredients right now. I think Indian ingredients are coming of age. They are globally being accepted. They've globally been appreciated. And I think it's very important that we chefs in India also use them. So I think it's more of Indian ingredients than Indian food, I would say.
You agree?
Yeah, 110%. In fact, 200%. So this is the era, this is a time where we need to appreciate our own culture, our own diversity, our own ingredients. But unfortunately, a lot of us, like, the new budding chefs or the chefs who are existing and doing a lot of good work, somehow we don't know much about our own country. We don't know much about, what's happening, for example, in Northeast, or what's happening up in Leh and Ladakh, or down south in Kanyakumari, or maybe in Gujarat. So for me, I think it's a big inspiration from, the recipes, which is quite unknown. If you talk to any of the grandmothers, if you travel down south or northeast, so they will tell you one odd recipe which you have never heard of. And, that becomes like an inspiration for me. And I think that keeps inspiring a lot of the young chefs who are doing so much good work, in their own fields. So for me, it's always an inspiration to get inspired by the recipe, and then the whole work starts, that how I convert that particular recipe and how I use that particular ingredient in the cuisine what I do, which is European. That becomes the task for us, and that becomes more challenging, but also I think it's more fun to work in that direction. So I'm spending a lot of time educating myself on the new recipes, which is quite hidden, which you will always find in the villages. Unfortunately, India is known only for the butter chicken, tikka, kebabs, naan, etc. But India is much more than that. So yeah, that's my little story.
Like we said, that there is lost recipes and everything around. Indian food has a very big role when it comes to the spices that are being used. The type of spice to be used and the grinding of a spice also changes the dish. So the biggest difference that lies maybe in the age-old time to what is happening today, we are going very refined on our spices. We are getting it too powdered. So the crunch or the bite of that spice is missing out. So in my food, I'm trying to get that back, because lost Indian food or the undivided India food that's there, it's more rich in flavor than cream. So Indian food is really not about the cream and butter that we use, but it's more to do with the spices and the garlic that we use in it. The ginger garlic paste plays a more important role than we guys were giving. So all the age-old places, we've seen that the lost food or our grandparents' food had a proper tadka that made the difference. The dal is simple as you get at your house. The type of tadka or the time when they are putting a kadhi patta or the time when they are putting in the chili powder, that is different. So every household has a different method of doing it, and each of the flavors change is not because the ingredients have changed, but the timing of the ingredients is playing a very important role. So I feel that the lost recipes and our grandmother recipes, more than anything else, are not documented correctly. So we are trying to get that documentation down and trying to understand why they're using on a different step. So that's the way I am looking at the things.
That's so again very well covered. I think the two words or the emotions I attach at the moment you say Indian is obviously legacy and nostalgia. So it's a huge responsibility on us chefs to actually do justice to ingredients and technique. It goes hand in hand. So I think that's how it just.
The creative freedom is something very important, and as a chef you always learn that you need to learn where to stop the creativity. Rather than doing the creativity, you need to learn where to stop your creativity is the most important subject. I think that's all of us know here. So I would like to conclude and thank everyone to listening us and chefs to be here. Thank you again, everyone.